The Packers will have a first and goal. Receiver to the right, Jimmy Graham. Rodgers, quick toss in the flat, left side, got his man for the end zone, and a touchdown.
First and Goal podcast on Spreaker.com. And we're now on all your favorite platforms: iHeartRadio, Spotify, Castbox, Google Podcasts, Tumblr, YouTube, and SoundCloud. You can always follow us on Twitter at First and Goal Pod, and our Facebook page, facebook.com/First and Goal Pod 33.
Get money, yeah. Every day I'm hustling. 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 3, 2, 1.
And welcome everybody to another live edition of First and Goal with me, your founder and producer, Jay in the UP. And down in Georgia, your host with the most, the big grizzly bear, Dave.
What's going on, everybody? I am excited for tonight. We got a big guest, but also, people, we have someone special aboard.
Okay, little teaser here. We are now going to feature on Tuesdays a new fantasy segment for all you fantasy guys out there, run by our own new member of First and Goal. So welcome, everybody, Mr. Dylan Busby.
Hey, what's going on? Ooh, oh, he's bragging already. We don't even give him brag time, Jay. He's already bragging.
All right, Dylan, here's what we do. You're not a guest, but you do get this since it's your first time on. You get brag time. So hit it there, buddy.
Oh, well, I just want to let you guys know I am qualified. I am a 5-time redraft champion, 3 times in 1 year. Call that a hat trick, but hey, you know, sometimes the people go down. They were all either 10 or 12 man leagues. And, yeah, sometimes you end up on top. Luckily, my strategy paid off, and able to nab the championship 5 times. I got a jug and a few title belts to my name.
Now he's just showing off.
Show off. I've played fantasy football for 3
Right?
years and finished dead last, second to last, and dead second to last.
I have one title in, let's see, like 10 or 11 years of fantasy football. So, yeah, and I go to Dylan for a lot of my fantasy needs. So let's just say, hey, yeah, this is the guru, guys.
That's why you brought me in. By the end of the year, you guys are going to be winning championships. Trust me.
Well,
yes! We all get to wear a belt at the end of the season.
We are also hoping to maybe we've been spitballing about having our own First and Goal fantasy league. So, you know, maybe since you're the fantasy guy, we'll put you in charge of running and being the commissioner of that, if you got time. I don't know. Just spitball.
Oh, that sounds lovely. I got nothing but time. I love to be commissioner. Throw out the videos, throw out the trash talk. We all have a good time, you know.
I think you just made him blush a little bit, Jay.
Well, I try to do that. I mean, he is a new member of our family now, and you know how we are in the F&G family. We're nice to each other, but there's no room for thin skin. So there's going to be a lot of ribbon, and I think he's going to fit right in. Because he is an Eagles fan, FYI, people. He's an Eagles fan.
An Eagles fan, that's what I call him. God.
Cheeseheads, Bears, Lions, bring them out from the Lions' den, bring the skull, whatever you got to do.
Well,
Okay,
all I'm going to say
guys.
real quick, folks, is I have met, I've known Dylan for quite some time, too. So it's kind of like an honor to have him on here. I grew up with him in hometown, Homer, New York. Went to high school with him. Graduated 1 year ahead. And No, I've known Dylan for quite a long time, and it's really cool to have him on here. And he's going to be an awesome member because I always go to him for my fantasy needs. Every time I have like conundrum, I ask him, and usually it works out. So I'm telling y'all, he's worth it 100%.
Now you're just making me blush.
I'm good at that. All right, Jay, sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you. I had to get that in.
No, it's fine. It's fine. But you know what time it is, Dave. It is. Oh, hold on a second. Yeah. It's not time there yet. You can keep bragging until I actually do this correctly and get this done right. You know, because it's Jay, and Jay's an idiot sometimes. Go ahead and
someone yell at the producer in the back. No, and also, too, Dylan, that's the thing, is I actually met Dylan, I believe. Did I meet you through Zach, my brother?
Yeah, more than likely.
Yeah, I think I did. Yeah, and and that's the thing, you ended up clicking off with the group. Well, you ended up clicking off with the group that we always hung out with, and it just kind of went from there, and we always stayed in touch, and then, of course, you moved 20 minutes away from me, from Homer, New York, just like I did, down to Georgia, or you live in South Carolina, but right across the border, and I'm like, I can't believe it. I'm like, one of my good friends is down here, and I've always talked to him about a podcast, and I know he's a fantasy guy, so I'm like, dude, we got to get you on here, the fantasy guy. Jay fell in love with it, and we're rolling with it. I love it.
Hey, the stars aligned, and I just so happened to move 30 minutes away from Dave Sigger, of all people. So here I am, but just want to let you guys know you're going to get, obviously, the bread and butter type stuff, you know, the rankings, the stardoms, the situms, you know, busts, breakouts, sleepers, things like that, but also, you know, a few extras, a few outside-the-box perspectives, per se.
Watch out, Matthew Berry.
All right. Now, so, yeah, we're calling Dylan he's Dilly, as I understand, in our group. So Dilly is going to be our group.
We always call him Busby by his last name. That's a buzzkill.
I thought that would be better because, okay, Dylan, I'm Italian-Israeli.
Ask him. What does he want to be called?
Busby, to me, right away, is very mobster, so I like it.
Hey, that works for me. Just don't call me late for dinner. I mean, if I got to be the Don, per se, if I got to be the godfather of the fantasy world, so be it.
All right, guys. All
right,
Dave.
A contender.
Dave, you know what time it is.
It's that time. News updates. Well, I'm going to start right off. Packers news update. Packers have to make a decision on some veterans players is what I was reading today. And, of course, this name keeps coming up. It's very surprising to me. Brian Bulaga is being ranked number one in a lot of lists. And they're saying Elton Jenkins, the Packers' second-round draft pick, to replace him. And I'm like, no. If anything, they're going to move to Billy Turner to right tackle, keep Elton Jenkins at left guard, and put in Cole Madison at right guard, because that's naturally where they fit. And I was kind of surprised by that, Jay, and Dylan too. If you're familiar with Packers, I mean, Brian Bulaga, when he's healthy, he's actually a big old stalwart. But the thing is, he hasn't been healthy. But this year, it looks like he's back on track to put in a full 16 games.
Well, it's actually funny that you mentioned that because I was looking at Packers offensive line stuff, believe it or not, right before we got on here. And yeah, the highest ranked offensive lineman on the 2019 Pro Football Focus, none other than David Bakhtiari.
Oh,
so I'm surprised that,
I thought you were going to say Brian Bulaga.
I know, that's what I'm saying. I was surprised that Bulaga was so high when Bakhtiari is also number one. And I read, Corey Lindsley, another stalwart of the line.
Yes. Our stud center. And then another one that's really not surprising, Mike Daniels was listed on there as a possible veteran cut, with him not being able to possibly fit in Pettin's scheme. He wants the big old 6'4", versatile outside linebacker, defensive end that can play inside on some stunt blitzes. They're saying even Tremont Williams might be a possible cut. And as much as I love Tremont, it might happen. Jay, what do you think? Do you think Tremont stays, or do you think he gets cut?
Nope, I think Tremont stays because he is a veteran guy that there's a lot of young secondary players that they want to develop, not just on the field properly, but off the field properly. And if you want that, you keep Tremont Williams around. Again,
He's a leader.
I don't think he's playing a big role, but it's the 2013. You keep Donald Driver around, you keep Tremont Williams around just for that. He's not making a lot of money against the cap. If you're going to cut a veteran, you know who it is. It's freaking Jimmy Graham. Get rid of Jimmy Graham, not Tremont Williams.
Well, that's the obvious one. Actually, my next one is the one I want. I know this is going to hurt a lot of cheesehead hearts out there, but I think the way Crosby has been kicking in OTAs and minicamp, I think this undrafted rookie we picked up, Sam Ficken, has a really good chance to get him released. Sam Ficken has been hitting more field goals than Mason Crosby in OTAs and camp. And to me, if you're a kicker and you're making $5.5 million near the top of the kicker list, you need to not miss anything. Even one is skeptical, but I think he's had 7 or 8 he's missed. This undrafted rookie's only missed 4 or 5. I mean, the save the cap room, move on. I mean, we did it with Ryan Longwell when Crosby came in.
Yeah, as much as I love Crosby and as much as I would like to see him stay, this becomes a production for price problem that he has got himself into right now. He is almost if he had a less of a price tag, you could probably live with some of those field goals, but if you're going to miss that many at his price tag, I'm sorry, kickers, you know what happens to him.
Yeah, well, here's what I'm curious about, though. I mean, as disappointing as Jimmy Graham has been, I know I'm kind of switching back to Jimmy Graham, and then you guys are talking about other players, but...
Oh, that's fine.
Looking at who, Jay Sternberger to step in? I mean, is that really an upgrade?
To me, it is.
Well, it's not just Jay Stern, and it's Jace Sternberger. It's not just him.
Ooh.
It's the fact that you have Mercedes Lewis, who knows this offense because, he didn't know the other offense because it didn't care about tight ends. You have Tanyan, who's a young guy. It's just Jimmy Graham has a problem we keep coming back to. It's the type of offense that they're going to run, and he cannot be on the line of scrimmage. And if you're going to put him on the outside as a receiver, why wouldn't have you just kept Jordy Nelson? This whole thing, looking back at it now, has become a gigantic freaking mess when it comes to Jimmy Graham. And I guess just now looking at it, I just want him gone and have it over with. I'm just sick of talking about it. I'm sick of having it be put in my face over and over again. I'm ready for it to go away.
Well, he's a great value fantasy player, I'll say that.
Well, Ryan Molstad actually pointed out a great thing. It's just when Packers and Ted was getting in that routine of signing all these veteran tight ends, and I think it carried over to Gutekunst to see if it'll work at one time. And this is Jimmy Graham's year. If he stays on the team through the 53 for week 1, then if he doesn't get cut or traded, I see him getting let go next year.
Hey, all right, guys. Like I said, you're going to get...
One second. I'm calling her right now. Dylan, in this minute and a half, give me your one big sleeper you would take in any fantasy draft this year. PPR, regular fantasy, keeper league, redraft. I want to know it.
All right, well, I'll give you 2 tidbits on that, actually. My second for going to these mock drafts right now is John Brown of the Buffalo Bills. I tell you, no quarterback, and this includes Pat Mahomes, no quarterback went deep more often than Josh Allen last year, and that is John Brown's specialty, is running the deep ball.
Yep.
And I also think that 2 tight ends that right now are going undrafted in most mock drafts are going to be on a lot of fantasy championship teams this year. If they can give you 16 games, Jordan Reed and Tyler Eifert are too valuable, too much of a playmaker on those offenses, particularly Jordan Reed in Washington where there's nowhere else to throw the ball. If he can stay healthy, that's huge value. He's going to be on a lot of championship teams.
All right, man. Well, we thank
that's a preview.
you. Yes, we thank you very much, Dylan. we have to get to our guests. So we're going to go to break, and we have Joe Zagorski